Hi everyone, welcome to our Brown Bag series. It's great to have you here in today's Lunch and Learn session. We are into our new series of Brown Bag sessions, which comprises of the latest and key topics to help you stay relevant in today's marketplace. Well, as this is taking place over lunch, please feel free to enjoy your lunch as we learn along. Now, in view of time, we shall begin. Welcome to our Brown Bag series brought to you by HeadHunt in partnership with Kaplan, Singapore. My name's Tammy. Broadcasting live, we have with us Dr. Susan Calderón Urbina, Assistant Professor of Marketing from University College Dublin, who will be sharing with us on the topic of value-based marketing strategies on customer value. Before I hand over the time to Dr. Susan, please note that there is a Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to type in your questions at any time during the presentation. We'll also be conducting our feedback poll at the end of the session, so please stay with us throughout. So without further ado, I'll now pass the time to Dr. Susan. Dr. Susan, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Tammy. I'm very happy to be here with you today. And we're gonna share a session that I hope to be interactive. So help me with that. I will try to make some questions and some interaction. So you will see during the session. And please feel free to ask questions and also to participate. So let's start our session. Today, we're gonna talk about value-based marketing strategy. And specifically, we're gonna focus on customer value. How do we create customer value? But before going into that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Susan Calderón. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at UCD. I'm from Peru in South America, a bit far from Singapore. I studied communications in Peru. And after that, I worked for some media companies doing strategies for some brands in the retail and telecommunications industries. And after that, I came to Singapore to study my MBA here. During that time, I already realized that I wanted to be part of the academic life. So when I went back to Peru, I joined a couple of universities as teaching in different topics related to marketing. Since academia was my passion, I joined IE Business School in order to get my PhD, and I have a PhD in marketing and consumer behavior. In 2018, I joined UCD, University College Dublin, and since then, I'm an assistant professor of marketing here based in Singapore. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with you. As I said, so today we're gonna talk about value-based marketing strategy. And before that, let me share a video. Let's see if I can get it. Please watch this video.
At Trader Joe's, we created a culture that's focused around the individual. We struck the word consumer out of the lexicon of Trader Joe's. Instead, we have customers. They're individuals that choose to shop at Trader Joe's and will choose to come back. And for us, that's a really critical difference. Everything we do then keeps the customer in mind. We create an atmosphere that wants to create a customer wow shopping experience. And that customer experience is very different than just customer service, which is where I'm doing something to you. Customer experience is really about how you as a customer feel about yourself while you're shopping at Trader Joe's and what you feel about the company. So it's both your internal and your external experience. And customer experience for us was the magic. When we started really focusing on customer experience, we started to get real raving fans. So I think that customer experience for Trader Joe's is one of the real secret sauces of the magic of Trader Joe's.
So for Trader Joe's, this grocery store chain in the US mainly, they create customer value by offering customer experience. That is one way to look at or to offer and provide a customer value or value to our customers. But today we're gonna discover there are a few things that we can do in order to provide value to our customers. But before that, what is value? Well, Peter Doyle, this philosopher in marketing, he said that the essential idea of marketing is offering customers superior value. But how can we do that if we have consumers that define what creates value for them. I have a little poll here, if Jamie could help me. And the question is, how do you think consumers know and really can identify the benefits or they can judge objectively the benefits of a product? What do you think? Please choose one of these options. Do you think customers, even you, can judge objectively the benefits of a product? Let's see if we have some people joining this poll. What do you think? And when I talk about benefits, I'm already implying value. Okay, I don't know if we have the answers already, Jamie. Aha, let's see, this is very interesting. We have almost 50-50% in the yes or no. Well, in this case, we can say that yes, some consumers can objectively define what benefits from them, but in reality, most of us cannot objectively define what benefits, what is value for us. And that's a problem for us marketeers. It is really a problem because for every consumer, value is different. What creates value for our consumers can depend on every consumer that we have. We can say that different consumers buy different value. Our consumers don't know really what benefits them, what is beneficial for them. In many occasions, our consumers are more emotional than rational. And that's why we say that they not always objectively can say what benefits them. And this is a problem because the meaning of value changes also with time. It's not only that every consumer defines what is valuable for them, but also this value changes with time. That is another challenge for marketeers as well, because we need to be ahead of what our customers really are going to value from our products or services. Indeed, we can say, and research has found, that this definition of what is valuable for our consumers is influenced by how we serve consumers, how we, companies, provide our service. This service might or might not accompany a product, a tangible product. Okay, so in both cases, even if it's 100% service or if it's a service that goes together with a product, we also need to think about influencing this creation of value with this service that we provide. We have the chat open, so if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We also have the Q&A box, there you can have your questions as well. So something else that I want to highlight here, that this is not only about low prices, okay? This is not only about providing consumers a product with the lowest price possible. That sometimes is not valuable for our consumers. Even high quality. Surprisingly, for some consumers, high quality is not always what they are looking for in a product. Yes, and this is sometimes a challenge for marketeers in many ways, as you can see right now. We can say that market leaders deliver customer value in line with one of these three value disciplines, one of these three. Operational excellence, when we deliver our product in the best way possible. For example, FedEx here, they deliver the product on time, any product that they might have in hand, they deliver it on time. Everything from the distribution point of view works perfect in this dimension, in this discipline. The second way in which companies or market leaders deliver customer value is having customer intimacy or creating this customer intimacy. How do we do that? Selecting our target in the best way possible, in the best possible way. Having this relationship, close relationship with our consumers, satisfying our consumers, knowing their needs, what do they want? One example that I have here comes from the luxury industry, Hermes. And some of you might know this brand. It's a very luxurious brand of bags and leather goods, etc. And they really know their customers. They know that by providing these specific products, consumers will be getting a lot of value from the products, and even they will be willing to pay a really high price for the product. Or companies or market leaders can provide value through product leadership, developing a product that will satisfy our consumers in many ways. And we can guess that Apple is one of the best on that sense. They create these type of product that consumers will like in the long term. Okay, but now let's go back to our first question. What is value? Well, in simple words, we can say that value is, with a formula, is having all the benefits of a product or service and subtracting all these costs. And when I talk about cost, it's not only about price, it's also about the effort that my consumers put into getting my product. How much trouble my consumer went through in order to get my product, in order to buy the product. Okay, so consumers will subtract all these costs, effort, etc., time, we can say that too, in finding the product, etc., from all these benefits that my product offers. Okay, and in this sense, I'm also talking about the customer service that goes together with the product, not only during consumption, but also before consuming the product, during the purchasing process, and also after consuming the product. We need to remember that the customer journey goes before buying the product, before consumption, and after consuming and purchasing the product. Okay, we can say that consumers derive value from functional, social, experiential, and economic elements. We're going to see each of these. For instance, we can say that there are some companies that that provide functional value. What is that? Well, through the product characteristics, through the product features. For example, we can have a detergent. Okay, it provides value as soon as it does what it promised. Have the whitest shirts after washing with this detergent. But we also have brands that offer social value. One of them could be Facebook, for instance. How do they do it? Well, they help people to connect themselves through the interactions that people have inside this social platform or any other social platform. People derive value, they derive benefits, they enjoy this process, these benefits. We also have companies that provide experiential value. And in this case, we can also talk about Apple, because Apple provides these emotional elements to their customers. There is a link. We even have people that are huge fans of Apple. Experiential value. People enjoy this. And finally, we have some companies that provide economic value. In this case, we can talk about a supermarket here in Singapore, Sheng. What do they provide? Savings. They promise that the prices that they will have will be lower than the competitor supermarkets. Economic value, savings. Okay, let's explore this type of value, economic value. As I said, this refers to the total cost or savings that our consumers will have when they use or buy our product. Let's see this example, and let me change here quickly the screen. Let's go to this Excel file. And in this case, for instance, we have these three types of light bulbs. We have the incandescent, this is the normal, regular ones, the fluorescent bulbs, right? We know they save some money as well. And we also have the LED light bulbs. Okay, these are the last ones. Let's imagine we are offering the market these LED bulbs. Okay, so let's do an economic analysis here. very quickly. Don't worry, you don't need to be saving maths, but let's do this quickly. Let's imagine that the live bulb lifespan is 25,000 hours for this LED bulb. For the fluorescent CFL is 10,000 hours. And for the incandescent, the regular light bulbs, 1,200 hours. Okay, that's how long they last. In terms of watts per bulb, we can say that the LED has 8.5, 14 for the CFL, and 60 for the normal regular light bulbs. In terms of cost, we can see that these are the prices for each of these light bulbs. Definitely, the LED one is more expensive, okay? This one is more expensive, unfortunately, and this could be seen as a way to defer or to, determine my consumer to not buy my product. It could be a limitation for my customer when they see. But if we do an analysis, we can see that the kilowatts of electricity used over 25,000 hours for the LED is 212.5, 350 for the CFL, and 1,500 for the incandescent regular light bulbs. Okay, if we calculate the cost per electricity, these are going to be the differences. Here, we can notice that it's much more expensive for the regular light bulbs than for the LED bulbs. How many bulbs we need for 25,000 hours? 1 for the LEDs, 3 for the CFL, and 21 for the regular light bulbs. Okay, if we calculate the cost for 25,000 hours, we can see already that the cost for the regular light bulbs will be much more than for the LED light bulbs. How much more? Almost 7 times more. Now we can see that our consumer will be actually saving a lot of money if they buy my LED light bulb. Let's calculate for a regular household, and let's assume that they will be purchasing or using 25 bulbs per year. Okay, so what is the total cost for 25 bulbs? Well, these are the amounts here. I have it calculated for you already. So we can see that for the normal regular light bulbs, the cost goes over $4,000 per year. For the CFL, there is a already interesting saving here, over $3,000 in saving. But for the LED, we go over $3,500 in savings in every year. This information is what we need to use in order to convince our consumers to buy our product. How can we do in order to convince our customers to save or to use and buy our products? What would you say? Any idea? Please use the chat if you have any idea. How can we use this information in order to convince my consumers that they should buy our product? Can we use this information? What do you think? Any idea? Use the chat box if you have any recommendation, if you have any idea on how to use this information. This is actually very important, right? Wei-Fang, thank you very much. Lifespan, we can enhance the lifespan of our light bulb, right? In our advertising, for example, what would we say? Well, we can say that the lifespan of our LED light bulb will be much, much longer than for the incandescent or even the fluorescent light bulb. The LED is value for money. We can say, don't forget that we have this amount of money that you will save in a year, that you can do many other things with this money. Don't spend it in light bulbs. Use it for other things. This LED option is the best one. You can have more value for your money. Yes, and we can offer also many other things in order to get our consumers and convince them that there is an economic value here for them. to take advantage, okay, in our product, of course. So we do this analysis. Do you think our customers will do this type of analysis? Unfortunately, not for a light bulb, okay? We can do this type of analysis as consumers for example, if we want to buy a house, if we want to buy a car, how much is this going to be repairing this car every year, maintenance of the car, etc. We can do this type of analysis for important, very relevant products, but maybe for a light bulb, it might not be worth our time. So we, as companies, need to use this type of information that we get in order to facilitate this information to our customers, so they can be convinced to buy our product. This is economic value. Okay. Any question up to now? If you have questions, please do not forget to use the Q&A box. I'm checking that, and I will answer your questions if you have any questions. Let's talk about functional value. Well, in the case of functional value, then we are focusing on the features of our product. What features? Well, usually companies try to highlight the special, unique, and new features of my product, of their product. What are these benefits that these features provide to them, provide to customers? For example, in this case, and again, we as consumers don't do this analysis for every product that we have, unfortunately, or maybe that's good, but we will do this type of analysis when we buy a computer, for instance, a laptop. So we will analyze what are the functions, the features that each laptop model or brand offers to me, that I'm interested to buy a laptop. Well, we can see the memory, we can see how fast is this laptop, we can see the price, we can see maybe the weight of the laptop. If I'm gonna be walking around the city with my laptop because that's part of my job, then I want to have a very light laptop. But that depends on every customer. We need to do an analysis of the importance of each of these features that we have for our product. And for this, I have a little game for you. Let me switch back. I have this little game for you. Okay, I will share this with you, but please first, let's see how we do this attribute importance analysis. Okay, let's say I want to buy a computer, a laptop, as I said, and I have these attributes here: hard disk, large storage capacity, how fast is my computer, that's important for me too. The weight is another important element that I want to consider in my purchase of a laptop, in the choice of my laptop, and also the price, how low is the price. Okay, but each of these elements or characteristics and depend on the importance, right? Not all of them have equal importance for me. For me, for instance, it's very important that my laptop has a high storage capacity, large storage capacity. Okay, let's say 31%, okay, of importance. That's important. But then I want to have a fast computer as well. Well, it's important, 26%. That will weigh 26% in my decision. A lightweight, well, this is not so important for me because I use it in my office and I don't move it that much. Okay, maybe 8%. Okay, low price, that is not so important for me. My company will pay for it, let's say, so that is not so important for me. I have budget for that, so it's okay. Now I have these 4 options, okay? And I start analyzing each of these options. For example, HP. They do have a very large storage capacity. Yes, I can say that from 1 to 10, they have very good large storage capacity. This is particular HP laptop. Unfortunately, the RAM is not so good. It's actually bad. Let's imagine this is a hypothetical case. Lightweight, it's very light, I can say. Okay, and price, well, it's actually very expensive. I do the same process with Lenovo, and I can change these, okay, depending on the model that I'm analyzing. And then at the end, I will have my preference. I will say that following these attributes and the importance attribute rating, I can say that the Microsoft laptop will offer me the best product possible, considering the importance of these attributes for me as a consumer. I'll give you a couple of minutes so you can do this process. See, copy this link and paste it into your Google or any browser that you use, and try to play with these attributes. How important is having a large storage capacity for you? Maybe for some of you, it's not so important because you will have external storage device. And maybe for you, you're a student, potential student, so you want to have a very lightweight device, laptop, because you can carry it around everywhere. You want to do that, so it's important for you. Try to play with this and tell me at the end which brand of laptop is the most preferable one at the end of this process. You can use a chat to tell me. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Microsoft, to your idea as well. You will buy the same as I then. Maybe we have similar importance, attribute importance distribution. What about the others? Anybody else? Anybody else that has a different brand, maybe? Dell to Keith? Very good. What is the most important attribute for you, Keith? Large storage, fast, low price. So yeah, maybe. And maybe in the case of Dell, it's very cheap. So low price is very high. Anybody else that has a different brand, maybe? As I said, unfortunately, consumers, as much as we would like them to do this type of analysis and evaluate our brands in a very detailed way, in a fair way, maybe too, not all of them do this type of process. For laptops, we might dedicate more time into analyzing each computer, etc. But for example, when we talk about other products, maybe cheaper products, notebook, maybe, or a bottle of water, maybe for some people that is not so relevant. So they don't put that much effort into deciding. But for this specific product, we might put some effort into deciding. Yeah, probably the idea, the amount of analysis is correlated to the amount of money we are spending. In many cases, yes. Okay, in many cases, yes. And I say that in many cases, but not always. Okay, if we have a large and huge salary per year, maybe money is not so relevant for us. And then I value other things. Okay, I value, for example, I'm in the stage of my life that I value stability. I value the health of my, or the happiness of my family, for instance. Okay, there are different things that can play a role in this type of analysis. Okay, yeah, correlated to the type of salary, but it also depends on the stage of life. Okay, there are many things that can affect our customers into this decision. Not always money is a element that will play a role and will correlate with the amount of analysis. Okay, it sometimes depends on the type of product too. Okay, as I said, but every product, and we need to do this analysis for every industry, for every product that we are managing. Okay, but in theory, yes, we can say that the amount of money spent on a specific product could influence the effort that we put in an analysis for a specific product. Thank you very much. So this is about functional value. Now, what about experiential value? Well, in the case of experiential value, consumers are more emotional in this case. We are assuming that consumers are more emotional. So we need to do this psychological assessment or preference of the value that our consumers get from the experience we offer. Okay? This is not only when the service is provided, but also when the product is consumed and after the consumption process. Remember that when we talk about the customer journey, we are starting this process when consumers have the need, okay? When they started to have a need, they start looking for options to satisfy this need. They start to weight this information that they have, evaluate the different brands. Then they will probably buy the product after this evaluation. But then there is a process of post-purchase stage in which consumers are still evaluating if they actually made a good choice or not, if they chose the right product or not. Okay, and during all this process, we could be offering experiential value. This is related to the brand, okay? When the brand has a link with our customers, when the brand has a relationship with our customers. And you might say, well, brands, relationship, how come is that? Well, in research, we have found that brands behave like friends to people. They might be even defined in terms of personality traits. Brands have a personality as well. And they offer enjoyment to consumers. They offer emotional value to consumers, experiential value. The design of our brand, and this is related to also to the customer experience, user experience that consumers have with our website, not only with our website, also in face-to-face point of sales, and in general, in every point of interaction that our brand has with consumers. And I'm saying brand because it might include having an employee in this process or not. Advertisement also counts as part of this process. Advertisement is very, very important for creating this brand relationship because we expose the positioning of our product during this process. Okay, so customer experience, customer service, very important in creating this experiential value, making things easy and enjoyable for consumers. That will produce emotional benefits. And these days, these emotional benefits are super important. Well, why? Because we have found that emotional information stays longer in the mind of our customers. Well, yes, unfortunately, this functional information that we might offer to consumers might not last that long in my consumer's mind. What will last longer is the emotion, the enjoyment, or the disaster that they felt when trying our product. Unfortunately, this memory that consumers have about our products and the emotions that they provide them might be beneficial for our brands or might be detrimental. If we provide a good customer experience, then it will be good for us. But if our product is not good, unfortunately, consumers will remember that. And that will have a strong impact in us as companies or in our brands. Why? What will be the results of a bad product if my consumers have a bad experience with our product? What will be the consequences, the negative consequences? What do you think? Complaints, but actually that will be the best that we have. Because then we will realize, if a consumer complains, we'll realize, okay, our product is bad, we need to do something. Okay, Keith says lost trust, and that is super, super bad for a company. Consumers will start losing trust on what we say. And they will think, okay, what this brand says on advertisement is not true. And what could be the worst thing that could happen after they lose trust on us? What do you think could be the not buy anymore? And yeah, they will not buy anymore. Even worse than that, thank you, Alicia. Boycott, don't buy, but we don't know. Bad mouth, negative word of mouth. And consumers do that very frequently. Unfortunately, when they don't like something, when they had a bad customer experience, what do? Well, we go and give a bad review. Bad reputation. We provide and write a bad review. And we say, this product was terrible, I didn't like it at all, the customer service was terrible, etc. And this will have a huge impact in other customers, in other potential customers, because we all check reviews. And according to research, the most impactful reviews are the negative ones. Not the positive ones, unfortunately, for brands. The negative reviews are more impactful in consumers. So keep in mind that when we say that our product is good, it has to be the best product that we can produce in the market. Advertisement is not everything. We cannot fix bad reputation, Benita. We cannot fix it. So we need to work on having a good product, and that will help in spreading the word, in having positive reviews, because positive reviews have an impact. They are not as impactful as negative reviews, but they will have an impact. Okay. I have an example here of experiential value, Airbnb and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now that a lot of people are talking about Will Smith. So that they offer, or Airbnb organize, the mansion where the Prince of Bel-Air was living, and also organize everything inside to provide an experience to the customers that wanted to stay in this place. Okay, so this is creating experiential value. And I'm sure you will have some other examples in your mind. What are the brands that provide experiential value for you? What are these brands that provide experiential value for you? Does any brand come to your mind? Ritz-Carlton, oh yeah, they might have a very, very good customer experience. They may be entering the hotel. You will have a good service. They will carry your bags. Singapore Airlines, for sure. I still remember that they gave me ice cream when I was flying with them, and it was very nice ice cream. Yeah. And all the process, the check-in process is very nice. Any other brand? Interestingly, you are choosing brands that are focused a lot in the customer service. And this is because customer service, it's a huge driver of value, as we said in the beginning. Citibank, yeah, I'm not a customer of Citibank, that I can imagine that they make the life of their consumers very easy when you want to open a bank account, maybe. Excellent, very good. Audi, wow. Yeah, I'm not a customer of Audi either. Amex, American Express, very good. So all these brands provide experiential value. Mobile phones also offer some experience, maybe iPhone. Yeah, they help you to connect with people. Definitely, very good. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Tai Weiling. And we also can have social value. And already when we talk about social value, we immediately think about social media. This is not always the case, but it is true that social media, social platforms offer a lot of social value. Instagram, excellent. I also have that example here. Vinita, you read my mind. Yes, Instagram provides a lot of social value, TikTok as well. Because many of the benefits that we enjoy through using these social platforms come from the ability that we have to share with our friends, to connect with them, with influencers as well, right? We have these network effects. We can post our experience in the Ritz-Carlton, and many people will like it. I mean, many people will comment on it or share it, I don't know. And that will create some enjoyment for me. We create connections with our friends in Facebook, for instance, or Instagram, etc. And that will create some value, social capital, relationship with our friends and for our customers as well. How can brands take advantage of that? Well, having some presence on these platforms, interacting with consumers. People drive values through other people's experience, also by checking the experience that an influencer had in the Maldives. Maybe that motivates me to go there, or that makes me happy to see these pictures, etc. We have a question here. Let's see if I can answer it right now. I'll answer it later. Let's see, Yeria, how has COVID changed the way how we can market our products due to the... That's an interesting question. I will go deeper into it at the end. But we can say that different companies have had different techniques and ways to handle COVID. We have changed the way we use advertisement and as well. It depends on different types of products, but mainly brands have tried to connect with customers, offering experiences. Experiential value has been one of the main focus for different brands, to have this empathy with customers. Okay, I'll go into it in more detail at the end, but thank you for the question. And as I said, here we have Instagram creating social value. Okay, social value for our customers, for our consumers, and brands need to take advantage of this. Brands need to have presence in these platforms in order to provide these social elements. How can we do that? Well, interacting with our customers, interacting with them using these platforms where consumers are present. And some people say, well, is TikTok good for me? Is TikTok good for my brand? Well, we can also always say that it depends on the product, it depends on your target mainly, but TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., are offering huge opportunities for brands to expose themselves. This might have some risks, of course, and that's also important to highlight the work of community managers, because they know how to handle these communications very well. But in general, we can say that brands should be present on these platforms in order to create experiences and connect with customers, with their customers. Not only in order to create a social value, but also digital platforms have offered companies a way to interact with their customers and collect information. Okay, now that we're talking about these days, we're talking about big data. Well, these social platforms offer us also a way to collect data from our customers. How do we collect data? Well, it's not that I'm gonna copy and paste every comment that my consumers have. We have different softwares in order to analyze the sentiment, the emotions that my consumers have towards my brand. And we do that through analyzing the comments, of course, and many other ways that we have in order to analyze it and to take advantage of these digital platforms. Now, how do you create value to your customers? Can you create value to your customers? If you were working for a company, or if you are working for a company, how can you create value to your customers? Any idea? What will be your choice? Maybe social value, experiential, functional, economic value, very important for some companies. Convenience, very good. Convenience, reducing effort, right? Reducing effort, and that is also counted in the economic value. Remember that when we talk about savings, it's not always about money. It could be also in terms of effort, okay? Thank you very much, Wei Ling. Speed, reliability, and efficiency, being efficient, so that's also related to the experience. Very good. How we deliver our product to our customers. What is this experience that they get? Any other idea? To have the relevant product, Wei Fang, thank you very much, and to deliver it on time, in a timely manner. We all want that, right? Yeah, so we can see that there are many companies that try to be masters on that, yeah, to master that the process of distributing the product. Any other idea? Customization through the product, and that is related to functional value. Thank you very much, Alicia. Yeah, and these days customization is very important for consumers. Consumers want to feel unique, okay? And each of us have very unique personalities. So when consumers can put their stamp on a product, let's say, they will get a lot of value out of it. Excellent. So let's now answer some questions we have here. Wei Ling, how do we not only capture audience in today's overcrowded and competitive marketing world? How do we not only capture audience, connect with our audience, but also convince them about the value that we offer if we are marketing on social media? Very interesting question. How do we capture audience? Well, this is a process we need to understand, and every company, every product has a different process, but I can say that there are multiple ways to capture our audience and not only convince them about the values that we offer, but also trying to be careful with the competition, right? The first thing that we need to do is to analyze the market, analyze our competitors. If we're talking only about marketing communications, for instance, what are our other competitors are doing? What are they doing in terms of marketing communications? What are they offering? What is the benefit? In terms of product, what are the benefits that they have? Also, we need to consider and analyze our customers. What do they need? What is value for them? Okay, and that is a second process that we need to do. Third, can we satisfy these needs that our customers have? Can we satisfy these needs? That is a process that we need to understand if our company can satisfy these needs. Okay, and if we can satisfy these needs, we need to provide the best product possible and also manage our marketing communications, our advertising in a way that also our marketing communications provide value to our customers. How do we do that? Understanding our customers again, talking in the same way they talk, providing an interesting advertisement. And when we talk about advertisement, we talk about three main things. The message, very important. Well, how is the message built, constructed? Is it easy to understand, etc.? Second, we also talk about media, the media that we use. Are we placing our advertisement in the right media? Are we placing our advertisement in the media that our consumers use or consume? And of course, together with this, we need to consider the product, tangible product, and also the customer service. Okay? Is this clear, Wei Ling? Yes, excellent. Any other question that we have? Any other question that you have? So let's go back to Jiraya question about COVID. How has COVID changed the way we market our products? It is true that during COVID, we all have suffered and we all have gone through difficult times. In terms of marketing communications, as I said, companies have switched to a more emotional theme, okay? They have tried to connect with consumers at a different level, at a more emotional level. Authenticity became a topic then. How truthful, how authentic are brands in communicating with their consumers? That was important. But also in relation to the products that we offer to the market. Companies have changed the type of products that they have used, that they have produced. Companies have created new products with a new perspective. That is something different. It will be important also to highlight that there are some industries that were more affected than others. For example, here in Singapore, the hotel industry, okay, it was hugely affected, right? What did they do in order to still be in the mind of customers in a positive way? They had to do different strategies, right? They work with the government in some cases. The idea of staycation came to us, and many other things that they need to do in order to change their offering, adapting themselves to the new normality, we can say, the processes that they need to go through to finally find themselves comfortable to still offering a nice product, right? Way fine. We have a question here. Why new trends evolving, for example, metaverse? How does marketers catch up to stay relevant to occur and retain their customers? Yes, it's very difficult, okay? It's very difficult for marketers to always try to catch up and to stay knowledgeable about all these new things that come to the market. It's very difficult. I will always say, keep reading, keep studying. It's very, very important to always try to stay ahead. Do not forget about market research, very important. Not only first-hand market research, to always try to collect data from your customers, etc., but also secondary data. Okay, there are always these industry reports that we find for free, or there are paid reports as well that we can read, and we can understand what are the new trends evolving, and not only in terms of technology such as the metaverse, but also in terms of customer trends. Nowadays we talk a lot about sustainable products, eco products, green products, etc. How do we stay ahead of that? What is the new things that our customers will need in the future? We need to understand all these things. Reading, studying, doing market research, talking with customers, okay? Talking with customers. We talk a lot about, in marketing, about big data, but we cannot forget small data, okay? We cannot forget small data. And when I say small data, I'm talking about more qualitative research, doing interviews with your customers, talking to your customers, spending time with your customers, collecting data from the first hand, from just talking to your customers and see what do they think about their product, what do they like. These interactions will help you in order to get all these trends. What are the new interests of my target market? One company that is very, very good at this is Procter & Gamble. They do many different things in order to stay connected with consumers. They have these programs in which they send their management employees to work for a couple of days in different stores, okay? And then you see the marketing chief working in a store because they want to get this first-hand information. They want to see how consumers come to the store and buy the product. Yes, I'm not sharing any slides right now. I'm just answering your questions. Any other questions? I'm not sure if I have. Did I answer your question, Wei Fang? I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing very well your names. Excellent. Any other question that you might have? Majid, I'm not sharing any slides right now, but I'm reading the questions that you have. Any other questions that you might have? We have a couple of minutes. So if you have any questions, there are many trends in marketing, and specifically with digital marketing, it's very, very difficult to keep up. Particularly in my sessions, when I teach digital marketing, we cannot teach students every platform, right? But we offer students a specific framework that they can apply and they can use in most platforms, okay? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. There might be different platforms, technology is evolving very, very fast. But as soon as you get the mindset and the information and how to analyze a platform, how to understand if a platform is good for my brand or not, or for my product, then you can apply it to anything that comes in the future. Okay. Okay, if there is no other question, I thank you very much for your time and for being here today. I hand it to Irene. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Susan. Thank you for your sharing earlier. It's really very insightful. So I'll take this opportunity to share with you all about UCD Master's Program at Kaplan. Just one moment. Okay, I hope all of you can see my screen. Okay, so just to share with you, thank you everyone for still staying on for this brown bag series. So my name is Irene. I'm the Assistant Manager for the School of Postgraduate Studies under Kaplan Higher Education Institute. I'm the Program Consultant for this University College Dublin Master of Science programs. So throughout my slide, if you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me later on. And also do prepare your handphone, as I have some QR codes for you to scan, which you might find some useful information along the way. Feel free to scan them. Yeah. So without further ado, I will begin now. Okay, so UCD has actually been in association with Kaplan for more than 20 years already. Every year we have 2 intakes. So in other words, we are approaching intake 48. So we are actually running the course for like 24 years already. Okay, and for this program, you'll actually be taught and assessed by both the university faculties and our local lecturers as in Singapore. Okay, so UCD is also one of the institution part of the National University of Ireland. So it is actually listed as one of the acceptable institutions under the Ministry of Manpower. Okay, now I will not dive too deep into UCD's recognitions because if you refer to our website from this QR code over here, there's actually a long list of the rankings and reputations, their accreditations and credentials. So you can actually refer them in the website. Whereas over here, I'll just emphasize the key main points about their recognitions, such as them being the top 1% of higher education institutions worldwide under Times Higher Education. They also ranked 173 QS Global World Ranking 2022, and also ranked top 100 QS Graduate Employability 2022. And not forgetting, they're also a Triple Crown accredited business school. Just a summary about this Triple Crown accreditation, it just serves as a guarantee that UCD's business schools is recognized around the world for its academic excellence and quality. Okay, so these are the UCD course offerings that we have. We have Master of Science in Management, Finance, as well as Project Management. The Master of Science course duration is about 18 months, and intakes every year is 2 intakes. You have one at the end of this month in April intake, and then another intake will be somewhere in August. Okay, program structure generally for this Master of Science course, you'll be undertaking a total of 8 or 9 modules in total. So there will be 5 core modules. So those highlighted modules, they are actually assignment-based modules. And then the other, depending on the specialization that you choose, so management and project management will be 3 modules, whereas only for finance, there will be 4 modules. So mode of assessment wise, mainly it will be coursework and exams, where it will be a weightage of 40% coursework and 60% exams, except for the 2 modules here where it is 100% assignment based. So it entails like thesis, research project, or group project. Okay, entry requirements for this Master of Science course is actually a bachelor's degree in any discipline. So there's no subject prerequisite that sort. So UCD just strictly look at the academic gradings, where you need to at least have a 2nd class honors and above, or at least a credit average in your grades. So the bachelor's degree can be any discipline. So for the non-standard entry, meaning for applicants who do not meet the standard entry, like if you have a bachelor's degree that is, say, 3rd class honors, or even a degree that is without honors and doesn't have credit average, or even non-degree holders like diploma qualifications, then it still can be considered on a case-by-case basis. There'll be additional requirement where you need to at least have management experience. So degree holders will need to have at least 3 years of management experience. Only in the area of finance, then you need to have the management experience in the finance field. Okay, and it will be considered on the case-by-case basis. Nevertheless, for non-degree holders, in terms of management experience, you need to have at least 10 years. Okay, because this is more suited for mature candidates, but it still, all in all, be subject to the university's approval. Okay, so you can actually scan this QR code on our range of postgraduate courses available at Kaplan, or otherwise you can also drop me a WhatsApp text if you have further questions about this Master of Science course. I'll be happy to attend to any questions you may have. Okay, that's all I have for my short presentation. Any quick questions that I can address? Okay, if no other questions, then I'll pass the time back over to Tammy. Tammy, over to you.
Thank you, Irene and Dr. Susan, for being with us today. We hope you've enjoyed today's session and will now invite you to participate in our feedback poll. Please give us your honest feedback so that we can further improve on our brown bag series. The feedback poll should be popping up on your screen anytime, so please take a few moments to share with us your observations. Thank you very much for your feedback and for joining us today. This brown bag session is proudly brought to you by HeadHunt in partnership with Kaplan Singapore. Our next session will be next Wednesday, 13th of April, and the topic will be Pandemic Recovery in East Asia and ASEAN, brought to you by University of Adelaide. Do sign up early on our website, masterclass.sg. With that, we will end today's session. Have a great weekend ahead. We'll see you next week. Bye.